Well, welcome to my live, I guess my Facebook live feed. I'm Stephanie D. McKenzie. People always ask me why I put the D in, and the reason why is because a long time ago I said, hey, you got to buy your name as a domain, right? And so I was going to buy stephaniemckenzie.com. Well, unfortunately, I waited too long, and there is another Stephanie McKenzie, and I think she's in Canada or somewhere. And so she bought stephaniemckenzie.com. So I had to be stephaniedmckenzie.com. So that's why I always say that, not because I think I'm regal or because I need a three-namer or something like that. But nevertheless, I put a posting up on my Facebook page recently. Hi, if you're here, leave a comment so I can see you. I actually don't have my glasses on, so I may not be able to see it as clearly as I need to, but I will definitely see it. I had a conversation this past weekend, and it prompted me to put a post up on Facebook. And the post was show of hands how many people are dealing with being hurt by somebody that you love, and that could also include somebody that you care about, et cetera, et cetera. And so I got this barrage of responses from the emojis to people literally putting up the emoji where you're raising your hand. And I thought about it, and because of the conversation I had on Saturday, I was talking to a family member, and she knows who she is, so hey. And we were discussing some things that happened 7 years ago. Seven. Okay, 7 years ago. Mostly in the wake of my father's passing. And the one thing that she brought to my attention was that I had way too much heat coming off of me because as I'm telling her what happened and what they did, she said, I just sound entirely too heated to be somebody who was over this. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take that because I truly believe if somebody cares about you, they're not going to allow you to simply drown or to burn in your mess. If your house is on fire, hey cousin, hey Dean, that's not what we call you, but of course I'm gonna call you your government name because you just popped into my feed. But anyway, love to see my family sometimes. Hey family, what's going on? Yeah, I'm so excited that you're here. But nevertheless, it caused me to think about people who may be going through the same thing. And so that's why I put the post up. And I really want to dig into this because for a lot of people, the hurt that they feel is harsh. And you think it's gone away, right? You think you've forgiven people. You're very much having this Madea moment where you thought you had gotten over it, and then she said she went to the man's funeral. I think the man had hit her, and she stomped him down 2 more feet. She was still mad, and that's what happens with us when somebody loves us, somebody that we love hurts us. It takes a lot from us, mostly because we have this misnomer that because people love us or care about us or are related to us or are married to us or have been friends with us for X number of years, we have this misnomer within ourselves that they'll never hurt us. And that's not true. That's not even realistic because at the end of the day, humans are fallible. Humans make mistakes. All humans make mistakes. And so in that, you may be the casualty. Let me not say casualty because that's really strong. You may be on the receiving end of one of their mistakes. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to go live. I'm feeling very neo soul today. You see, I got the afro and the hair and the jewelry. So I figured, why not? Let's go live today and talk about what to do when you've been hurt by somebody that you love. And I really feel like the first thing that you have to do, and this is where so many people get tripped up, is in acknowledging the pain. There are way too many people that say, oh, I'm fine. Oh, I'm good. My favorite is I'm blessed and highly favored. And I'm like, yeah, you're a hot, rude mess, but that's okay. We really have to get into a point where we acknowledge our feelings. We were hurt. We were saddened. We were disappointed. We never thought that this person would do this to us. And that's important. That's extremely important because it acknowledges and it honors how you feel in the situation. Now, I know some of you are going to catch this later because I decided to go live at a time when many of you are probably getting off work. So when you catch this later, I want you to really think about how you feel about the situation. How do you feel about being hurt by someone that you love? And acknowledge that. Not in a mean way, not in a way that's going to spurn you into some sort of ridiculous action, but just acknowledge it, honor it. That's what you have to do for yourself. And then next, you have to recognize their truth. I think one of the things that we really do not so well as humans is that we don't empathize. We say we do, but we don't empathize with people. And to really recognize their truth, like you really have to say, okay, this must be what they thought they needed to do. This must be something that made total sense to them. Now, it may have made no sense to you, and it may have been the stupidest thing that they've ever done in their lives. But at the end of the day, right? Everybody's like pausing, they're nodding. Yeah. But, at the end of the day, this is what they felt like they had to do. And there's a really great book I read once upon a time called The Four Agreements. And one of the four agreements is that you don't take anything personally. Yeah, I know. Go ahead and roll your eyes. You might cuss a little bit. That's okay. I'm here for that. You can put your cuss words in the comments. Those of you who are going to look at this later and be like, did she really say that? How can I not take this personally? How can I like push past the fact that this person told me that they were going to do something, or they lied to me? They said that they would never hurt me. They hurt me. I felt like they would never betray me. They betrayed me. How do I not take that personally? Well, I'll tell you how you don't take that personally. You recognize their truth. Their truth is that whatever they've done, even though you may be on the receiving end of it, it was not done with you in mind. Now, if it was done with you in mind, if it was done out of spite or malice towards you expressly, that's an entirely different conversation. That's an entirely different conversation. And the reason why it's an entirely different conversation is because now we're talking about toxic relationships. We're talking about emotional abuse. We're talking about some things that I won't cover in this video, but you all know how to reach me, slide into my DMs, as they say. Hit me up in my inbox, and you can do that from my personal page if you're my personal buddy, or you can do that from the Relationship Firm page, because I'm going to post this in both places. But we have to recognize their truth. Sometimes people do things and they really didn't think it through. I've been guilty. How many times have you done something and you just didn't think it through, and you ended up hurting somebody? Or, let's think about it like a car wreck. You're driving along and you're like, oh, I need to turn around. And so you do this U-turn in the middle of the road. You didn't even think about what you're doing. You were just thinking about getting back home because you forgot something that you really needed. And then you end up in a wreck. Well, you didn't sit there and say, you know what, here comes this car. I hope I hit it. No, that's not what you did. But you made a decision and it had those consequences. And so because of that, because again, humans are fallible, they make mistakes. We have to recognize their truth. We have to recognize that this is the type of person that they are. We may have to realize that they're a person of low moral character, or we may have to realize that the people in our lives that we actually love are flawed. And we just have to accept that, especially if you're married. Especially if you've been friends with somebody, and especially if you take this next step to heart. And the next step that I'm going to ask you to do, and don't get me wrong, I'm not asking you to do this, I'm doing it with you. Okay, so I'm just kind of sharing my process as far as what I'm going through in order to deal with what I apparently didn't deal with 7 or so years ago. But after you recognize your truth, you need to consider what you need from this person. And so if you need their friendship, if before this incident or problem arose, you felt like you had a really great friend and they upheld you and they edified you and they supported you, thumbs up. Then what you need from them is that friendship. If you're married to them, if you need your marriage, okay, great. If you don't need to get divorced, okay, great. And as I told somebody recently, in the state of Texas, if you file for divorce right now, like if you say, hey, I'm done with this, I'm over it. Well, actually, you'll have to file tomorrow because it's after 5 o'clock. But if you go to the courthouse right now and file for divorce, they're going to make you wait 60 days. 60 days. I think they want you to think about it and see if that's what you really want to do. Okay. But you have to consider, once you recognize their truth, you have to consider what you need from this person. Point blank, period, the end. And if you need the relationship, if you need the friendship, if you need that connection, if you need that business partner, then okay, that's fine. But now you have to commit to your new understanding, what you know about them and what you need from them, and that you can actually get it. See, this is the time to really create some realistic expectations as it relates to relationships. And so many times we don't have realistic relationships. Some of you know, I do life coaching, but the relationship firm somehow has developed a niche in the premarital market. And because of that, I deal with a lot of people who are about to get married. And many times, although it's becoming less and less now, but in the beginning, many of them had very idyllic conceptions of what marriage is. And I was like, nope, nope, it's not some, lifetime of partying and, oh, you have this person in your life and they're obligated to be there. That's not what it is. So, getting past the idyllic conceptions of people in our lives is very, very key. One of the things that my cousin said to me during our conversation was that, she knew who those people were. She knew how they acted. She knew what their character was, and she didn't expect anything more. And, honestly, I didn't expect anything more either. I kind of knew them as well, but I thought that there would be maybe a different perspective on the situation. It was a unique situation. So I thought maybe that might have been taken under advisement, but, nevertheless. So things happen. I recognized the truth. I considered what I need, and now I have to commit to this new understanding. And when you commit to your new understanding, if that means that you looked at the relationship and you said, hey, I don't need this, then you commit to that understanding of, okay, I recognize their truth. I empathize with the fact that they're that person. Okay, great, fine. And I decided what I needed from them was nothing. So then you commit to that. I'm doing a class right now on breakups. It's on Udemy. Actually, it's on Udemy, Teachable, and Skillshare. But, I love the Udemy platform, so I've just been pushing the Udemy platform. And one of the things I talk about is a cycle. There's a cycle in relationships. Some of you have seen them, people that have been together 10 years, but it's on again, off again, on again, off again, on again, off again. They don't know if they're together or not. Okay. So in that whole process, I truly believe that the reason why those relationships happen is because when it came time to break up, they didn't, am I going to shameless plug that? No, I'm not. When it came time to break up, yeah, I am. They didn't go through the steps that I would say would have made the breakup work out better for them. They didn't go through those steps. And so that being the case, they find themselves on again, off again, on again, off again, because there's never a time to heal. And so the reconciliation just takes you right back into the place where the relationship broke in the first place. So ultimately, I don't want you to cycle in this as you're getting over this hurt, or you got to get over it regardless. But you're getting over this hurt, don't cycle back in. If you commit to your new understanding, which is they're this and I don't need that, then you have to commit to it. One of the things that humans like to do, we like to keep going back and expecting a different result. It has been said, Freud calls that insanity. Same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Well, okay then, if that's the case, let's not do anything insane. Let's not do that. Let's not go back and give people yet another chance to hurt us, yet another chance to hurt us, yet another chance to hurt us, if we have in fact decided that this is not a relationship that is serving us. Now, if you did decide that it's a relationship that's serving you, then committing to your new understanding means that we don't keep dredging up the stuff from the past. We've decided that happened. We've decided to forgive, and now we're going to move forward. So, with some relationships, I like to implement what I call a kill date. And if there's something that's going on in your relationship and it's been going on for years and years and years and years and years, sometimes it's pointless to try to unravel that ball of yarn. And some people will say, oh my God, well, why can't they get a resolution? Yeah, they have to kill it. It has to die. It's a weed in your garden. It must die. We don't negotiate with weeds. We don't try to find out what the weed needs. We kill it. We kill the weeds. That's what we do. So if your new understanding is, I want this relationship, I understand that this person made a decision that did hurt me, but I still find value in having them in my life, then when you commit to that new understanding, you don't bring that old stuff into that. It's not fair. If we've decided to move forward, then we're moving forward. Don't turn around. That's not going to work out. You'll bump into things. Okay? All right. Now, I guess the last thing that I want to say is thank you for those of you who's tuned in, and thank you for those of you who will tune in later. I will be posting the link. I know I'll have to go live when everybody's home, but see, by that time I'm winding down. Hi Rita, I'm winding down and I'm just ready to chill. So ultimately, the hurt that you've experienced, it has a lesson in it. Everything does. I don't want to cliche my way through this and tell you that, oh, you have to learn from it. That's why it happened to you. It happened to you, and so you can learn from it. That's kind of my position on it. It didn't happen to you so you could learn it. It happened to you, and now you can learn from it. And, as the saying goes, sometimes you can learn a lot from a dummy. I'm totally kidding. I'm not calling your loved ones a dummy. But you can learn a lot from dumb things that are being done to you, or dumb things that have happened that have caused you hurt or heartbreak. And so this hurt that you're experiencing, it has a lesson. And, for me, it's all about let's learn it. Let's live it. Let's learn that lesson. Let's live it. And definitely let's get rid of it. So thank you for tuning in. If you want to connect with me, you can reach me on my personal page. You can reach me at The Relationship Firm. You can also reach me at therelationshipfirm.com. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you like my neo soul thing I got going on with my little afro and whatnot. If not, I'm all about that hair life, so you don't know what the next video will look like. But I hope you have an amazing evening. And if I can help you in any way, hey, Sequoia, if I can help you in any way, please drop a comment, slide into my DMs. Who is that? I can't. Miracle. Oh my God. Hey, girl. I have to say Miracle is here. Miracle's here. It's a miracle happening for real. But love Miracle. Some of you may not know, at one point in my life, I was She Diddy. I managed artists, and she was one. Just an amazing young lady. And so I'm just so glad to see you guys here. Y'all gonna make me talk longer. No, y'all just have to go back and look at it once I'm done. But like I said, hey, Francetta, this is insane, y'all. How y'all just gonna show up now? This is... Yeah, I'm like, hey girl, how y'all just gonna show up now? I'm wrapping up. I've done all the articulation and loved on you guys. But like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up so you guys can run it back and get it from the beginning. But if you need any help, listen, I get it. I confess to you, I'm going through it with you. So that's it for me, and I hope you enjoyed the video.